why would you end the Ultimate Universe? Like Ultimate Spider-Man was so good, and you have like these Ultimate spin-offs. I think in the long term, what Marvel is doing is the better decision. You reinvest into your main title, main universe characters. Like, it's great that this 34-year-old Peter Parker story is selling, but we want Amazing Spider-Man to sell.
Right.
Like, because at some point, the what if world is going to end. If you have Amazing Spider-Man just killing it, Absolute Batman isn't going to hold a light to it.
That's true.
And if you just turn those main titles, if they're going crazy and they're so good, you've won. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 71 of the Comic Room Pod. I am your host, Spro, and with me, as always, is my co-host and father-in-law, Mr. Longbox. Welcome.
What's going on? Good
Hello.
to be back.
Yeah.
We just came from his office. He's looking at another collection
Yeah.
to consider buying.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I spent like all day yesterday in the office organizing and putting stuff into long boxes to just quick sell on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting stuff that's going to move on IG or is going to move on, como se dice?
Whatnot,
yeah. So.
Yeah. Cool. That's good.
Yeah.
I spent a few hours this week cleaning out my closet in my bedroom so that I could take a couple short boxes from my office into that space and then get a couple empty short boxes and spread my comics out because all my short boxes are jammed. You guys, you know how that goes. Like,
Yeah.
get to a point where you can't thumb through them. And then once every new book, you're cramming it in. It just can't be good. So, but of course it doesn't help because when we're together and we're bagging and boarding, and I bring my comics over to bag and board to get ready for one of your claim sales. You know, you double bag or double board everything.
Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, I sold some comics in your claim sale, so I'll have more room. But I have less room because the comics I didn't sell coming back double boarded.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
Taking up more room. But anyway, but I managed to create 2 short boxes worth of empty space in my office. So next step is to go pick up a couple short boxes. Then I'm gonna, do that grindy work of, move some into this box and then some from this box and that. You know how that goes.
Yeah, I think I cleared out. I mean, you remember a couple weeks ago, I was like, how am I selling? And I don't have an empty short box
It's so
because I
funny.
was looking for one. So after all of my work from yesterday, I have 4 empty short boxes.
Nice.
But it's just a matter of time before they get filled up with something else.
I know. What really kind of spelled doom for me was the Absolute run, because they all went into my short box that's labeled box number 1 because it's AB. Like what comes before that, right? Except numbers.
Yeah.
And so, when that box is so packed already, and now every week seems like I'm buying 3, 4, 5 copies, of these variants. And so it's just, and so then everything's just cascading through my whole collection, and just, I had create some space somewhere. Now it's all filled again. And so I don't know. I have to figure something out. I've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Creating room in my closet by boxing up a bunch of sports jerseys I haven't worn 10 years is not really the answer. It's a temporary fix because I'll still be going to the LCS on Wednesday. That's the deal. I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, you think I'm going to walk around in a Golden State Warriors vintage 1990s tank top jersey? That was cool when I was 20 years old.
Show off those arms.
Show off the guns. I don't think it's really
Shekinah glory.
It doesn't. It's going to be white. I tell you that. There's not a lot of my skin does not collect melatonin or whatever melanin. I don't get tan anymore. I just go from white to red, and then peeling and right back to white. But it's. I'm past the age where it makes sense for me to run around wearing that stuff unless it's Halloween, Now, I got some jerseys that are like sleeve jerseys that I'll wear those on occasion, but then there's the issue of what fits anymore and what doesn't fit. And some were always on the brink anyway, and now they're definitely not fitting. So I'm like, why am I...
That's kind of... Basketball jerseys they like during like boxing, though. You got an undershirt, like if they fit, if they're loose.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I could do that. Yeah. I mean, they're sitting in
Those
the
are
box.
meant to be sweating.
That's right.
So
Okay. Well, so yeah, we are going to talk about comics eventually, but you know, it's comic adjacent. This is how I made room for more comics in my office.
yeah. So yeah, let's see. I just moved out a bunch of like 90s DC, which as far as 90s go, I mean, that's got to be the bottom of the barrel right there.
You don't like that 90s Green Lantern?
So nope.
There's not a lot going on in 90s.
I mean, I think that there's like 4 issues from the 90s Green Lantern that are like worth something. And it's the first Kyle Rayner.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
He's a pretty popular Green Lantern. So I have like, he kind of has like his first appearance over the string of a few issues.
Yeah.
So I have those. I am keeping all the Teen Titans stuff though. I forgot that I had those runs.
Yeah.
The Teen Titans, New Teen Titans, and Tale of the Teen Titans.
That's a lot of Vigilante, Nightwing, and other things.
Yeah, and I have the full Vigilante run. So that's stuff that I'll probably just take to Whatnot at some point and just do like a, hey, DC Teen Titans adjacent sale.
Well, that's going to be the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the impossible. I'm going to go through every single one of my long and short boxes, and I'm going to be really honest with myself. And I'm going to say, do these have any value beyond reading them? Realistically speaking, not nostalgic value, just legitimately, is there any value? It doesn't matter what condition they are. It's just, if the answer is no, then I'm going to take them. If they're in a Mylar, I'll take them out of Mylar. I'll do that much, right? And I will allow them to have that value. I will give them away where somebody can read them.
Yeah.
That's where the only place the value resides. And then I feel good about it. Like, you had mentioned, like a children's hospital or a library at an elementary school or just something like that. Just kind of roll up and say, hey, do you guys want these?
Yeah.
And just let it go.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a hoarder. Like they're here and nobody gets to enjoy them. I'm not even enjoying them. They're just there in case.
Yeah.
And they're actually in the way. And, how stoked would you be if you were like 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, and someone just rolled up and said, here's a shoebox full of comics.
Yeah.
Here you go. Have fun. I might create a future hobbyist.
Yeah.
Which I'm all about too. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. And so you guys can hold me accountable and ask me about that down the road because I need to do it and I want to do it. And, but it is hard to accept defeat on some of these spec things that you did and, and all that. But, I'll feel better about it. I won't miss them.
Yeah. Thankfully, from the LCS, I didn't really... I bought reading wise, I bought what I knew I would like. I never really bought anything that I was like, oh, this could be interesting. And I never really gave any of those things. If I did, I gave it an issue, which is unfair. But it's like if I wasn't going to get hooked
right
in the first book, then I wasn't going to invest $6 a month for the next 6 months to figure out if I want to read the whole thing.
That's crazy when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Because $6 a month is like a low tier streaming subscription.
Yeah.
And that's the cost of one comic book.
Yeah.
$5.99 is, $4.99, $5.99 is what you're paying for most everything.
Yeah. I know. I have to like spread out when I go to the LCS because I'm like, man, I spend like $30 a week.
Easy. Right?
So I'm like, let me go like every other week. And that way when I spend $30, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a tough thing, but I feel better about it. Like when I buy comics that I'm reading, I do buy comics based on the fact that I like the cover, but man, there's almost no way out of that one. If you buy a comic book because you like the cover, the odds of it going up because you like the cover are slim to none, right?
Yeah.
But now when I'm going through my short boxes thinking, well, what doesn't have any value beyond just being read, I will have a hard time saying, well, this one, I still like the cover. You know what I mean? So then I keep it. But when do I look at it? It's stuck in a box.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you helped me move my entire PC out of my office. So that's why I had to do it. It's because I was, and I have the luxury of having a totally second location where I can move this stuff. But that's the problem that I was running into is because I kept pulling the boxes out and looking at it. And I was like, oh, but I like this cover. And I had the same exact thought. I was like, well, when do I actually look at it? And I was like, well, let me give it 48 hours and think about it. And I pull the box out and I'm like, man, I still like this cover. So then I just kept doing that with so many different books. And I was like, you know what?
Exactly.
What if I just got rid of all of them at once? And I just didn't keep them here. Like, because then at that point, It's not my personal collection
Yeah,
anymore.
changes
it's
your
inventory.
thinking.
So what my plan is to now like take a short box, fill it with the stuff that we moved over there, fill it with the stuff that I want to bring back, and then bring that back, but only do like one short box. And then I'll do the same here because there's books here that I have that I don't want to necessarily keep. So I'll put those books in there and I'll just like swap. But yeah, I just figured, you know what? If I got rid of all of it at once, that's like the easiest way to do it. But if I try to piece it one by one, I'm cooked.
I know, it's tough. I just have to stop buying books because I like the cover. I think that's really that's the answer.
I stopped doing that like last year. Well, I stopped doing that when I started selling because I was like, I need to invest less into into the things that I want in comics and started investing into my business.
Right.
So I started doing that. Now what I do is I buy what I read and then I buy covers that make me go, whoa. Only if it makes me go, whoa.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I could walk up and down the aisles all day long and be like, oh, I like this cover, I like that cover, like this Momoko's cool, this Nakayama's cool, this Art Germ is great, this Alex Ross is. I mean, of course, they're excellent at what they do. So what cover isn't gonna look good? So it's like I walk up and down twice the aisle, and it really has to like stop me in my tracks.
Yeah.
Because at that point I'm thinking like, all right, this is the Hulk 340 of 2026.
Yeah, that's kind of fun to do. That's a good way to do it. Yeah, so I'm gonna need to do a little bit more of that myself. And what I've been doing lately is if I like a cover, not necessarily the wow like factor you just said, but I like a cover, I just snap a picture of it.
Yeah.
I take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm more likely to look at it again if it's in my phone than if it's sitting in a short box aside 12 other short boxes.
Tucked in the back of your closet.
Yeah, I'm never going to remember. So that's what I've been doing lately. And I look at it, and then eventually I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll delete the picture.
Let's see. I got a
You know,
few.
I think it's definitely a American epidemic. This consumerism. I like it, therefore I have to own it.
Yeah,
I have to make it mine.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's one. This is a Peach Momoko, but I bought this one because of the collaboration. Peach Momoko and Stan Sakai.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that is very cool.
So like two Japanese finest right there.
Yeah, that's a cool collection.
And then this one is this one like gave me the whoa factor a little bit, but I was also intrigued to read it because I've never really read Wolverine.
That is a cool cover.
The cover was cool, like, and I don't think this is something that's like going to be crazy valuable, but I saw the cover and I was like, oh wow, that's a really cool Wolvie. And I was like, I've never read Wolvie, but the Black, White, and Blood that Marvel does, there's some good stories in those. So I was like, all right, it's Black, White, and Blood. Like that's when they get a little bit grittier, like the Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood. I think there's a Spider-Man one. Yeah, Elektra. Like those are cool stories that they do that are a little bit on the darker side.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I do that. And then Capes, which I'm also reading, which is in the Invincible universe.
Yeah. I recognize it. Just the way the faces are drawn.
And that was 1 week's worth of. That's all I walked out.
That's good.
That's all I walked out with.
Well, Jenny Fristen hasn't been doing a lot of covers lately, so my pulls are very light.
Yeah.
For that reason, I'm only having absolute Batman titles pulled right now.
Oh yeah, did you pick up this week's Absolute Batman with the Wonder Woman on the cover?
No, but it better be pulled for me. No, I mean, it's just, sometimes it doesn't happen,
Yeah, I mean, they missed out on.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Is it a cool cover?
Yeah, it's Batman, like, because Wonder Woman's like massive, and he's like looking up at her, and they're just like having like a face off. And I have it. I'll show you when we're done.
Okay. Well,
it's somewhere in here, but yeah.
Can I do my show and tell? Should I do?
Yeah.
All right. Or do you want to go first?
No, go for it.
All right.
Because mine will kind of lead into the conversation a little
bit.
Okay,
cool. So my show and tell is first is just it's not a comic book. It's just a story, a really brief story. But you guys know I or some of you know that I teach at a Institute of Higher Education. And one of the courses I teach is a course on the comic book. It's called graphic novel. Mm-hmm. And And it's the type of stuff I teach at the creative writing courses. And so I have all my students are creative writers and creative content people and all that. Anyway, I had a meeting with one of my students, and she said she was telling me about her Christmas break where she went up to the San Francisco Bay Area and met with a recent graduate from the program, and they were at some vintage shop, and they saw something that they thought I would like. And they picked it up, and she brought it back and gave it to me. And I just said,
Wow.
"Hey, this is from us. We thought you'd like this. Check it out."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is a print. It's in. I'm going to put it in a frame and hang it, but it's a print of Batman issue 122.
Nice.
And it's got Batwoman on the cover, and it says featuring the marriage of Batman and Robin. And then there's Robin with a thought bubble. Gosh, what'll become of me now? And they're there as bride and groom, and they're throwing a rice at him and all that. And
That's really how it feels when your best friend gets married before you.
you're like, what am I going to do? I'm out. I'm definitely not. I'm definitely at best second place and a distant second. But anyway, I thought that was it's just nice. Just a nice thing to a thoughtful thing.
Hey,
But,
you got your 122?
well, that's exactly right. I thought it was really interesting that it was a 122. After everything I went through.
They probably have no clue, unless they do. I don't know.
And they got a little bio on the book in the back, like a little.
Oh, cool.
A little window where it talks about it's from March of 1959. Cover artist Kurt Swan, and gives a few other details. But anyway, I thought that was just kind of cool. It was a fun thing that happened to me this week, and it's not usual that a student will say, "Here, I thought of you, and we thought you would like this." But must be doing something right as a teacher if they're doing that, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, at least they know me well. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So there was that,
Right on.
and I thought, well, I'll bring some comics, and I'm bringing as I drop them. I have two comics, and they're identical. They're not identical comics, but they're identical in the reason I'm bringing them, and they're both Frank Miller signed comics. Ronin 2 and Ronin 3, signed by Frank Miller.
Nice.
You guys see those? Really cool.
Where'd you get them?
On eBay. Had them for a bit. Yeah, check them out. They're really nice. And the reason I brought those is because I like them. But
Street Level Hero.
yeah, Street Level.
I've got some COAs from
Yeah,
them.
and Frank Miller's signatures are expensive. If you want to get one at CGC, I think it's like $80, or and at conventions I've seen it go as far as 125. And it's sort of a for you Frank Miller fans, or probably other artists as well, you can get good deals on signature books on eBay, as long as you're cool with it not being in a yellow slab.
Yeah.
If you really got to have that yellow slab, then it's not for you. But I think I didn't pay more than $20 for. I know I didn't. Each of these was under $20, which is crazy when he charges $85 for a signature.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like these things don't come up. So I'm on the lookout now, because you know how it works with being a completionist. Now I want to get the full 6-issue Ronin Run Frank Miller signature.
Oh, cool.
If I could get each one for $20, I would do it in a minute. You know? So I'm on the lookout. But just as a public service announcement, if you like signatures and you're kind of discouraged by the cost of going to a comic shop or sending to CGC or a convention and they're signing, it's very expensive for these high-end artists. eBay's got I was surprised. Like, if you're cool with it not being certified, but you want a signature, you can get it for a really good deal on eBay. Even better than on Instagram. I don't say that often, because usually Instagram claim sales are the cheapest that I find and whatnot. But when it comes to the signature stuff, some things can just be sitting up there, and it just kind of falls under the radar or whatever. So to get Frank Miller's signature from 1980s books, and I really do think the Ronin series is underrated anyway, but nonetheless, I just thought it was really cool. So there's my show and tell.
Nice. Cool. All right, my show and tell is going to lead us into at least the first part of our conversation.
Okay.
And then the second part is we'll talk about, later on in the episode, we will talk about the top 20 most sold comics that came out, that list, and some other news that came out around that. But for now, let's start here.
Okay.
Last week, the Invincible Season 4 trailer came out. Yeah, Season 4. And we got Thrag. So here's my personal copy of Invincible Returns issue number 1, first appearance of Thrag. I was watching an IG sale, and somebody had this book in VF condition, signed bloody signature with Ryan Otley. So I don't know if you've ever seen his bloody signature.
Yes, I have. Splatter.
Yeah, gorgeous. And they were asking $250 for it, I think. And it's reasonable price. I think, at least because
Beautiful cover.
Ryan Otley charges, I think, I want to say like $80 for that signature.
Mm-hmm.
But then the guy goes, yeah, he's like, I'm pricing this under, because like he's like a VF with no signature just sold for $250. And I was like, about 4 hours ago, I just sold a near mint minus copy for $130. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's weird. I was gonna make him an offer on the book, but after he said that, I was like, well,
Yeah,
I'm clearly not gonna be able to get you to come off on that price. So
right.
And I just left. But I would have liked to have had the book.
Yeah, for sure.
The bloody signature is really cool, but sometimes all dealers do it all the time, and it just really depends on like what you're looking up and what you see. But yeah, sometimes I feel like when a dealer says this is what the book sold without it, and it's like if it's at the same price, it's going to be really hard to get them off that price.
Right.
And it's like you're not going to be able to shoot an offer, or like, they might come down a little bit but not much. So I would have liked to have had that copy because I've had Ryan Otley's signatures come through, and I've sold them, and but I've never kept one. And the bloody signature,
would you keep that? Really cool. Would that be?
I would have kept
PC
that.
Designated.
Yeah, I would have had this one and that one. I would have kept them both.
That's a really pretty cover.
Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah.
This is a David Finch cover.
Oh wow! Yeah. No way, really?
Yeah. Right there on the side of the building. It says Finch.
Hang on. I've got to authenticate it with my glasses.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. 2009.
Oh, crazy.
Sweet. Really, really nice.
Yeah, it's a cool book.
I love the shading on Mark.
Yeah. So we had that first appearance, we had Thrag show up in the trailer that was released last week. And the way that this is going to transition into the conversation is because I have a confession to make. And I've said things on this podcast in regards to this topic before. And now my thoughts are being pulled in the opposite direction.
Okay.
I may or may not have been shopping Invincible original art this last week.
No way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where it begins, It begins by looking.
So I've mentioned how the justification in my mind for original art, for the price, I just can't get there. But then I saw a couple pieces on eBay that were way cheaper than what I've been seeing on Instagram. And like there was a piece with Invincible, Adam Eve, Alan the Alien, and Omni-Man all in the same original art. That was a page from like one of the later issues. And they were asking $2,400. And I was talking with Rohan, our local original art expert.
Yep.
And he was like, dude, shoot out. He's like, shoot out this offer. I was like, oh, that feels low, man. Like, I don't know. And he's like, I was like, there's 40, at the time there was 43 people watching it, including me. And he was like, that's 42 people that aren't buying it at the buy it now price. So, and I was like, that's a good point. And then he actually knows somebody who like had bought a bunch of Invincible original art like a year ago for dummy cheap. And so he had asked him if he knew about this piece, and he's like, oh yeah, that guy's been trying to sell that piece for a while. So Ron was like, maybe that piece will, like, if you shoot him that offer, like maybe you can get it. So but ultimately I decided not to do it because if I'm going to get an original art, what's going to justify the price for me is like, I'm not just going to like jump in on it for like an investment purposes. I'm going to jump in and on my first piece of original art for a piece that I love that I'm gonna keep till the day that I die. Like it's like an heirloom piece.
Yeah.
And I found it.
Oh my gosh.
But it's not for sale. But the owner of it is public, and so I'm gonna shoot him an email to see if he's willing to part with it.
Are you willing to say what it is?
Yes, but I might mute it so that people don't
bum rush you,
so that they don't like try to hop on it. Maybe I won't, but I'll talk as if I'm not going to mute it, but I might be muted after this, so we'll see. It's from. So by this point we're unmuted. If we did mute. I hope you enjoyed that whatever music I put over that mute, and you guys watch us
really
do.
Good, yeah, make sure it was like really good elevator music.
Yeah. So I think there's like the pencils, and then that's like you can buy just the pencils, and then you could buy the ink, which I think is just like traced and like filled in. I don't know if it's like pencils with the ink on top. I don't think it is. I don't know. I'm still kind of like learning, but I'm pretty sure it's like one sheet is pencils, and then the next sheet is like the inking. I want to assume it's tracing, but I don't fully know. So if somebody knows, you want to let me know in the comments.
That would be. But do you have any idea what the price would be for something like that?
He bought it forever ago, so it would really just be whatever he wants, or whatever me or somebody else is willing to pay.
How did you even find something like that?
I looked up what issue it was in, and I just typed in Invincible blah 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 pages blah 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 original art, and then it popped up, and I was shocked. I was so shocked. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm gonna give him my best story that I can give. I'm just a wee lad looking for his first piece.
Yeah, right. I remember when Deb and I sold our house, we had a few bidders, that wanted it, and one of the bidders wrote like a letter.
Bidders with a D. I was like bitter people. Like,
no. Yeah, bidders like Angostura bitters that go in your old fashioned. No, they were, but it was They needed to write a letter because they had their case for their finances weren't quite in order. It was contingent on whether they could sell their house, if they could have the money to buy our house, and so that this letter about grew up in the neighborhood and would love to move back. That's where I was raised. Want to raise our kids there and the whole thing, and the realtor. The realtor said, so I have this letter. It came with the offer, and now I'm a very sentimental guy. I'm very easily swayed by that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But this is the biggest thing I'm ever going to sell in my life.
Right.
Right. We're talking the difference of like $30,000 between one offer and another offer.
Yeah.
And I just told her, I said, I don't want to see the letter. I'm not going to.
Brutal.
I'm not going to read the letter.
Because you know what it'll do to you.
Yeah. I'm not going to read the letter. I think Debbie read the letter.
Okay.
I said, that's fine, but I don't want you to tell me about the letter. I don't want it because this can't be an emotional thing.
Yeah.
This is, what I'm saying is
for sure.
I'm not trying to, make somebody's day with this sale. I'm trying to make my day with the sale,
Yeah.
And so in the end, we obviously didn't go with them. Somebody offered more and it was a cash deal, and that's how it goes.
Dang.
There's only one
What does cash deal mean?
That means there's no bank involved. There's no we got to hope they get, you still have to get your house appraised, but it's just a lot less to deal with. That means that.
Because I hear cash deal and what I think, let me tell you what pops up into my mind. My whole life when I hear people say cash deal, I'm obviously comics cash deal is one thing, but when I hear like house or like these crazy like big deals that go down, like a really expensive car, like Lamborghini, whatever, or like houses and that cash deal. What I picture in my head every single time without fail is 4 black Escalade SUVs pulling up in front of the house. 4 dudes popping out on each side, each with a briefcase in hand, walking up to the door.
Off the record, no taxes paid. I wish. I mean, the truth is, when you're selling a house and a cash purchase versus a purchase that's been financed by the buyer, makes no difference to you as a seller. The only reason you would prefer it is just one less round of approvals. Like someone will. You'll say yes to the offer, and then 3 weeks later, they say never mind because my bank said I couldn't.
Oh, I see.
So all it really doesn't put any more money in your pocket. It just makes it less likely it's going to fall through.
So it's the difference between somebody having $500,000 or whatever, in their bank account that they're ready to transfer to you, or however all that works. I don't actually know. Compared to somebody saying like, I have 70,000. And the bank is going to give me 430,000.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay, I see.
And so it doesn't. It just takes a variable out.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But for me, it was simply that they had offered significantly. They asked more than our asking by quite a bit. And there's only one thing. There's only one situation where I would take less if I were selling a house, and that is if I knew that the buyer was some kind of a corporation, BlackRock or like an investment group that wants to rent it out as an Airbnb. I'd be like, no, man, I'm not letting you cut off some family who's trying to raise their kids. Like, no, I would take less for that because I really am so staunchly against corporate ownership of residential homes.
A competing offer from them.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying you would take less from them. And I was like, wait, that doesn't sound like you.
No, I would just flat out refuse to sell it to a corporation.
So if like BlackRock was like, here's 800,000, and then a family was like, here's 550.
Yeah. And the funny thing is they really couldn't do that because you have to your offer has to be close to what the actual assessment is. If it isn't, insurance won't cover it. They're like, well, we can't. We're not going to insure it for 800,000 because it's not worth 800,000. But that's what you're paying for it, so we can't. It's a weird thing, housing, and you can't get too far away from what the recent sales are. But these corporations swoop in and they well, here's the money. We'll offer 30% more than the other guy or 20% more than the other guy, and it'll be easy because we have the money. It's like, yeah, I know. And then you're going to make you're going to turn all of us into renters.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not going to participate in that.
Yeah.
Like, I
see.
My conscience wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm saying, sorry, dude, too bad. No, in fact,
kick rocks.
I would, and I don't
kick black rocks.
Yeah, kick black rocks. I currently don't own the house that we live in. We're renting it. If at some point I own again and we ever get to the point where we're selling it, I would just tell the realtor, individual families only. Like individual buyers, like I'm not selling it to some investment group.
Yeah.
Forget that, man.
Good on you.
Just yeah. So there's my little rant.
Yeah.
We don't get political on here, but I think that's something that I don't think anybody who's watching our podcast disagrees with, except maybe a realtor who's happy with the higher sales. But but anyway.
So yeah.
That's cool, man.
Art, yeah,
that's really exciting.
Yeah. I can't get my hopes up at all. They're not up, but I don't know.
I do get it. I do. I understand. I feel it too. It's so expensive, but I get what you're saying. Like there are certain things, it's a one of one.
Yeah.
I mean, and in this case, it's a one of one. Well, I'm not going to reveal like in case we did mute it, but the reason that you want it may not be the reason. May not appeal to everybody else. So it's not the same as like, well, I'm gonna get the first. I want to get the original art from Batman 1 that has the first appearance of Catwoman. Yeah, me and everybody else, or Joker or whatever. But your reasons for wanting those pages you talked about, it's not as much of a slam dunk. It's personal to you.
Yeah.
So you could actually get something that you would treasure immensely that wouldn't cost you a treasure trove to get. Yeah, man. If I could get, I've already
Did you see that piece I sent you?
Yes.
It's cool.
It is cool.
The price is reasonable too.
No, it is reasonable. I did see it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Rohan, he did send me a picture of the original art of Bullseye skewering Electra.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Do you have it? He's like, no. Is it for sale? No, but I just wanted you to know, like, here it is.
Yeah.
It's out there. Oh, man. Like, that would be incredible. But pretty much anything that had a panel with with a cool looking panel with Elektra or Daredevil and Elektra or Batman and Catwoman, or I'd be interested.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be a key thing.
Does the artist matter to you?
Not entirely. I think it just if I like the page,
Fair enough.
There's certain artists that I would obviously really prefer. A Sienkiewicz Elektra or Frank Miller Elektra, but that's gonna be a fortune.
Yeah.
Forget it. But David Mack Elektra maybe could be had.
Yeah.
Or what about just going to the websites of these artists and buying one of their original arts? Like you have an original David Mack.
Yeah. Multiple. 3.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to do that. I would love to have original Frisson or commission Frisson or something like that. Or David Mack.
Mm-hmm.
And he has done some beautiful Elektra pieces, just beautiful.
Yeah.
But the original art is a whole nother thing because that is a one of one.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. And the market seems to be heating up for it. I mean, we talked about it earlier this year. Like, it seems like everybody's getting into it. I found some other cheap pieces, like in searching, like $300, $250
at conventions. At least the small ones the couple of them that we've gone, like Torpedo, which they didn't do that last year, and smaller ones like that. Sometimes that one guy is there and he's got
like half the room is just him.
Yeah, and there are of course massive thousands of dollars worth of pieces, but there are ones that are hundreds. And if it happens to be one that you like,
yeah.
If I could get a Bill Sienkiewicz Moon Knight one from the original Moon Knight run, I would do it.
Yeah,
because that's the time era where I was starting to collect.
Yeah,
I know I couldn't get a Byrne Claremont one. It's just too expensive
for X-Men. No,
I couldn't do it. But maybe a Perez New Teen Titans from that first run.
That would be cool.
I think that because that's the same time.
I bet you there's some cheap DC OA from like that time out there.
Oh man, here we go. But I think I would like just one. But that's how it starts.
So what's crazy is I don't know. Here's what I'm trying to think. You could have bought like a 9.6 Invincible 1 as early as March 2025 for half the price that it is today, even like less. I think this is approaching 3,000. I think the last sale was 3,000 on this. I think I saw in March there was a sale for like 1,200.
Man,
original art in 2024 for Invincible was going for like $500 to $800 a page. So I'm kicking myself because I've liked Invincible. Invincible 1 was truly like one of the first biggest grails that I ever got.
Yes, it was.
And I got it for like $150. I got it graded. It came back a 9.2. I sold it and I rolled it into my Daredevil 1.
Yeah.
And like I've as soon as the show came out, there's a lot of Invincible fans out there that I've been reading since it came out. And shout out you guys because you guys were way ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
I'm a fan because I was put on to Invincible via the show. But I've been watching the show since day of release because I thought it was interesting. So it's like, why in my mind was I not thinking, let me go collect the full run? Or the one time when me and my wife were in Pasadena for her work and there was like a downtime of like 45 minutes and I was like, oh, let me just run across to this comic shop and see what they got. And I'm looking at Invincible comics for like $5-10 a piece and I didn't buy any of it. Like, why? So like, then why in 2023 or 2024, when I'm spending all this money on variant covers, why am I not thinking, hey, what if I put that $500 into a Ryan Otley piece, which is now probably worth $2,000 to $3,000? Like,
yeah, live and learn, man.
It's ridiculous.
Live and learn.
So now what I'm doing is, okay, what can I buy today that will be the Invincible of 2028?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is there something that you're reading right now, currently, that's brand new? That I'm not talking like Battle Beast that's already Ryan Otley that everybody already knows about. But I mean something that you're reading that you enjoy that it's out there. Maybe it's an indie book or something like that, or maybe it's not. But and you think, yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like this. Would it be cheap to get it now, or was it too late? Is everything expensive now?
No, because I'm not gonna give
Reveal,
my insider trade secrets and tell you guys. But there's a couple indie books that I've not read fully, but I've kind of like dabbled in, and those are the ones that I looked up, and the OA is like $300.
Like, for example, last year I bought and read and really enjoyed the Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees series. And out of nowhere, just in the last couple months, the original first, I think it's 6 books, got hot. And I wonder if the original a page from that series is expensive.
Let me see.
Probably is, but it probably wasn't when I was reading it, or maybe it wasn't when I was reading it.
Oh, it might have it might be all digital. And that's the other thing with modern stuff.
Oh, right. I didn't think about that.
Because, or just straight up like not available. Like, yeah, there's nothing. Just from a quick Google search and a quick
What
eBay
about original art from anything from the Ronin series? Because I think it's really good, and I think it's groundbreaking for at least on the Western comic book world. But I don't think I'm in the majority in that way of thinking. So maybe there's something I could find there. But it is Frank Miller, so.
Last sold 60,000.
Well, there you go. Never mind.
What was the other one? He said Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah, I don't even know how to. I can't spell his name. Nobody can.
Sienkiewicz. That's like me sounding it out.
Yeah.
Moon Knight. So Moon Knight original art would be cool. You know what's funny is I was just like looking up original art on eBay, and then I found like this cool Silver Surfer piece with Galactus on it, and I sent it to Rohan, and I was like, "This is cool," and he was like, "Oh, that's mine." I was like, "Wait, I found your eBay," and he was like, "Yeah."
No
like, wow.
way. No way. That's really something. Small world.
Yeah. Oh, this is cool.
I mean, he did it for he drew Moon Knight in that original run almost every issue.
This sold for 20,000 in 2024. That's Sienkiewicz Moon Knight.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. The checkerboard. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, forget about that.
Yeah. So that's the only way I would really buy original art is like it's got to be. I don't want just like an Invincible piece for the sake of having an Invincible piece. Mm-hmm. Like there's even there's a piece on eBay right now that's just Angstrom Levy, and it's like $1,100 original art, which is cool, but it's like I'm not like a big. I don't think he's a cool villain. He's not like the coolest villain in the universe,
right? Yeah, it's not what. Yeah, if you don't like it, then you know.
Yeah, but what's his name? Voices him.
Oh yeah, who does voice him?
Whose line is it anyway? Gosh, what's his name? Why am I blanking on his name?
Know.
But Dara and I think Debbie and the girls met him. Weren't they on his show?
Oh yes, Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady, yes.
Yes, Dara and Melissa and Debbie wound up on the Wayne Brady show when Dara was probably 7, 8, and Melissa was about 5 or whatever. I don't remember. It was because they were at they went to Krispy Kreme, and Wayne Brady was there, and they were cute little kids, and they got on the show, because they were customers, and Debbie too was in the show. Yeah, so pretty crazy.
When we watch it, I'm always like, wow, like when he's creating when he's doing like his heinous crimes, like in the multiverse, or like, he's just like beating on Invincible. Like, I just look at Daryl. I was like, wow, you were on his show. That's crazy. That villain show.
Yeah, it is crazy. I wonder maybe, something like a Catwoman original art probably wouldn't be that expensive because let's face it, her there's not a single one of her comic books in all the runs,
especially from the 90s,
that's distinguished.
Yeah.
But people really like Mark Balent, the artist for that 90s Catwoman. I don't know if he did beyond the covers. I have to check that, but maybe that's expensive, maybe not. But I imagine I could get a page somewhere in there that probably wouldn't be that expensive.
Yeah.
And it would just come down to whether I thought the page was cool, Especially if it has Batman in it, it's going to be more expensive, but that would be the ideal.
Yeah.
Like something from Batman 50 where the wedding didn't come off,
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Yeah.
But good luck with that. Like Catwoman in her wedding dress.
That's the thing is like, I was looking for some like Chichetto original art. Cause again, like I said, like if I'm going to get a piece, I want it to be sentimental. So it's like, panels that I like from Invincible or like with characters that I like, or, I love the Zdarsky Chichetto run. So I like look that up. Chichetto does digital pencils, but then they do the inks. So I think in that case, they are tracing over his digital pencils. So that's what the listing had said. Cause it was the cover that Chichetto did with Doom last year.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what book it was for, but it said digital pencils / so-and-so on inks.
Okay. I'll have to look also for Fantastic Four original art because, of course, there's a gazillion pages of it.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of it.
Yeah, I found another one. There was some Greg Land.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like the Marvel Zombies era.
Yeah, I like he's good.
Yeah.
All right, doggone it. This is the last thing I need is a whole new. Thanks a lot.
I know. And then I'll probably be the one to end up pulling the trigger first, and then you'll get FOMO, and then.
Well, yeah, because that immediately gets framed and put on your wall. Like,
oh yeah, I would get that professionally framed, like at Michael's or whatever.
Pay the big bucks for it.
All right. So that's where we're at with OA. So my opinion is being pulled in the other direction now, somewhat. I still think. I'm not just spending on OA just for the sake of spending on it.
No, but I think once you get a hankering for something that truly is a one of one, it's going to be hard to see comic books the same way.
Yeah.
When you're like, well, they printed 500,000 of these.
Yeah. Or X-Men 1, what was it? 5 million or?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Was it 20 million?
Whatever it is, it's the most printed comic book in the history of the industry.
More than 8 million. I am one person removed from the guy who owns all 4 of the original art for that X-Men 1 cover.
So there's 4 different covers.
Because they're all the connecting.
And he owns the original art for each of the 4 covers.
Jim Lee.
Holy smokes.
And this guy, apparently Jim Lee contacts him just here and there. And it's just like, hey, I'll buy it back. He bought it from him in the 90s. And he's had it since then. I guess he's got the whole thing framed. And I don't even know the name of this person. It's just a friend of a friend.
Wow.
And yeah, apparently Jim Lee will just hit him up here and there. And he'll be like, hey, you looking to sell it yet? And the guy's like, nope. And he's like, all right. And then he'll come back a couple years later.
That's amazing. That's really something. Can you imagine like being the guy who owns the original art for some iconic McFarlane cover like Spider-Man 300 or Hulk 340?
Yeah.
Or the Batman. Which one is it? 423?
423.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I think that one auctioned a couple years ago in like 2023. Because I think I remember seeing, I think it was like record breaking.
Original art cover Daredevil 168. I'm serious. If I could get the inks along with the pencils for that, can I say this out loud? Is it really true? I might think it'd be worth trading my entire collection for it.
For 168 cover? Oh, I mean, you'd have to take out a loan also, probably, I'd imagine.
I know. I think I'd be willing to give up every single comic book I own.
Yeah.
And that includes FF1, all of it. And say, you just come, bring a van, take every single one of my boxes, all my slabs, all of it, all the sign books, all the magazines, it's all yours. And you leave me that.
Let me see.
It would clear up a lot of room in my
168 original art. I mean, that one's got to be in the millions, no?
Yeah, because it's actually the first appearance of Elektra too. on the cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
No, I don't see. Wow, 2006. Somebody bought some of the pages from 168. Gosh, I can't imagine what somebody paid in 2006.
Or for you, it'd be like Spider-Man 50.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's
Whatever
like giving up your
168
firstborn
is,
as well.
whatever DD 168 is, ASM 50, add another zero at least.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
You can get a print of it. Like
That's beside the point. There's not even. But
it's like a print of the actual like art page because it's got like the whole like dimensions and stuff on the bottom also. That's on eBay. It's $75 for the print of it.
you know, that's kind of a cool. That'd be an interesting gift to get myself
Yeah.
because that's as close as I'll ever get.
But for that, that's either, I would say north of 500,000.
Yeah. Well, I can take a picture of it.
All right. There you go. OA. It's where we sit. And then we'll finish off with this. We got, just this last week, the top comics. This is new comic book day stuff for the full year of 2025. Now, this one is has all 50. So it's the top 50 sold comics. What was being posted online was the top 20. And here we go. Number 1. Marvel / DC Deadpool / Batman number 1. So I guess this is technically a Marvel Comics published book, but it's a crossover. So this was just on the Marvel side of the publishing. This isn't fully like, it's collaboration.
Yeah, and they must have printed like 17 different covers.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2, Batman number 1. The new refresh that they did with Matt Fraction.
Yep.
Pretty interesting. I read the first few issues. I think it was good. It wasn't good enough for me to want to invest,
The $6 a month we're talking
so
about.
that was more so like I'll pick up a trade type thing, like if I'm more interested in the future. But I did enjoy it. Like the art is very good. Jorge Jimenez honestly draws a fantastic Batman. He's really good. So there's that. And then the DC side of the Batman Deadpool. Which, did you read those? Both of those? They're pretty good.
Are they?
I was shocked. Yeah, they're both pretty good. Number 4, shout out Invincible. Invincible Battle Beast number 1. That's the number 4 spot. Number 5 spot, DCKO number 1. And the 6th spot was Batman 158, which was after Zdarsky had ended his run on Batman, and they brought Jim Lee back to do Hush. And then numbers 7 through 14. I'm just going to read them in a row here. Absolute Batman 15, Absolute Batman 13, Absolute Flash 1, Absolute Batman 4, Absolute Batman 5, Absolute Batman 7, Absolute Batman 6, Absolute Batman 9. So that's 7 through 14.
Absolute Batman 13 was the second most bought, which is the first full Catwoman. Interesting.
Yeah. Number 15 was Batman number 2. So again, from the Matt Fraction stuff. Number 16, Absolute Batman number 8. Number 17, Absolute Martian Manhunter number 1. Number 18, Absolute Batman 12. Number 19, Absolute Batman Annual 2025. And number 20, Absolute Batman 10. And if you're curious, 21, Absolute Batman 14. And 22, finally, Marvel on its own with no crossover is Ultimate Wolverine 1.
Wow.
That's sitting at number 22. And then 23 and 24 are Absolute Batman 11 and Absolute Batman number 1. And then 25 is Amazing Spider-Man 1 when they did the refresh. So essentially 1 through 20, DC Comics is dominating.
Yeah, we all knew it, right? It's not like we weren't aware. How many Marvel comics did you buy this past year? When I think about the books I bought, I wasn't reading anything from Marvel except the Ultimate Spider-Man one, but I bought the trade. So
Yeah, I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man, I bought all year. I picked up some of the Ultimates run because people were saying it was good, and the guy that they had writing that, Denny Camp, he's also the one writing Absolute Martian Manhunter. So he's kind of dabbling in both, and he's a pretty good writer. And so at the time, I was curious to read Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimates leading into Ultimate Endgame, but I was just kind of like, by that point, I think there was like 15 issues of the Ultimates out, and I was like, I don't want to read 14 issues to catch up and then like go from there. So I just like stopped buying the Ultimates after that. But those were really the only two Marvel books that I was buying, and then of course any Woe Factor books that I was buying that week. And then
that's a big year for DC. Wow.
Yeah.
They killed it.
They did.
And I don't think 2026 is going to be any different. I think it's going to be the same or more. There's a reason Absolute Batman 1's not in the top 25 is because they didn't expect it, so they didn't print as many. But if you start factoring all the reprints, probably. Yeah. You know, if you added those back in, but they're looking at single issues because everybody played catch up after that. So now in 2026, we're picking up kind of the second story arc or third story arc of it, I guess, right? And so now you're of the Absolute Batman, but now you have also Absolute Wonder Woman, and you have Absolute Flash and Absolute Superman. And I think we're going to see. We'll have to be interesting to bookmark this because we'll probably see almost the same thing in 2026.
Yeah. So
it's not slowing down.
Here's some news. Chip Zdarsky confirms that for 2 more years he has signed a contract to be exclusive with Marvel, and he is going to be taking on a senior creative role at Marvel. He is currently setting up for a Marvel Armageddon event, which is set for this year, 2026. Chip Zdarsky is currently writing Captain America. He kind of did the whole One World Under Doom thing, and
I guess didn't do very well apparently. The Doom books, because that was 2025.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't think he wrote. I think Denny Camp wrote the One World Under Doom. But I know a lot of it was spinning out of Fantastic Four. Yeah. And then he was writing Captain America, and there was like 5 issues where he was writing about Doom. So I think it was all just kind of like spinning out of that. But I don't know. That just seemed, to me, it seemed more like a Doom is coming for like the movies type thing. I think there was a lot of like more like promo. Like, or like getting people familiar with the character heading into the movie. Like Denny Camp tweeted at some point that if you want to understand Doctor Doom in the movies, to read the Ultimates, one of the issues. I don't remember.
Okay.
Wow.
So
yeah.
So they're looking to maybe go, I don't know if say different direction, but Marvel needs to do something, right? They got their butts kicked in 2025.
Yeah. So check this out. Zdarsky teases big Marvel Universe changes ahead, collaborating with Jonathan Hickman at the upcoming summit.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So, well, it doesn't get better than Chip Zdarsky and Hickman. Like he's just, those two right there are just incredible at writing.
I'm finally digging into the Hickman Fantastic Four. I
hear it's dense.
Yeah, it is, and I'm only just a few issues in, and I try not to binge TV shows, and I don't binge comics either. I like thinking about it between issues and contemplating and wondering. I like the anticipation. So even when I have the trade, I'll read one, and then I'll set it down, and I'll come back to it at least a couple days later to give myself. And with the Hickmans, I'm taking a little longer. Actually, it's just a lot to digest. Like I'll read it a couple times. Yeah. But I feel like shame on me that I haven't read those yet. Because I love the FF. Yeah. And Hickman's the man when it comes to that.
Still plenty of time to catch up, so you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting through it right now. I'm enjoying it. But that's good news. I mean, okay. So who's who's more important, the writer or the artist? I would say the writer. And I would say because a good artist can't save a crappy story.
Yeah.
But if the art's no good and it's a good story, it ruins it. You open it up and you go, I'm not reading this. It looks like junk.
Yeah.
You know, so you really you have to hit both out of the park.
Yeah.
You have to. And why can't we do that? Like we know who the good artists are. And then we got to give them time to be good. You know? In other words, don't give Chichetto 17 titles to work on because he's so good. Don't make turn him into a workhorse, because then he can't possibly be good. And make sure you give him the inker of his choice.
Yeah.
Because that makes a huge difference. We know.
Yeah. I was thinking about that yesterday with John Romita Jr. Because as I was going through my office and like sorting inventory, this dude did everything. There wasn't anything in the 90s and late 80s that he wasn't doing. Daredevil, Iron Man, Teen Titans. I mean,
he's everywhere.
Spider-Man, like different spin-off Spider-Man titles.
Yeah, Web of Spider-Man.
Yeah, like how was this dude? How? That's my question.
Yeah.
How? Because it's so much work.
Yeah, you kind of have to fall. I'm no artist, but I'm assuming that you have to fall into some familiar paneling, you know, some familiar poses, and there's tricks that you can do to make it easier on yourself, you know, where you can avoid or you pay somebody else to do all the background stuff. You just draw the character and let everybody else fill in. Yeah. You know, I don't know.
Well, there's that cool scene in season 2.
I was just thinking it. I loved it. Go ahead, tell him.
Yeah, in Invincible, where Invincible and his girlfriend at the time, Amber, go to a convention, which the outside of that convention looks like WonderCon.
Yeah,
doesn't
it totally
it?
Did. Yeah.
Yeah, so he goes in and then he talks with his favorite artist who draws Seance Dog, who, the artist, they drew in the likeness of Ryan Otley.
Yeah.
And so I think they were talking about the upcoming season for the show or something.
When's the next one coming out? And it must be really hard. It must take a long time.
Yeah, and so he's talking about all the different, like all the work that has to go into, and like the repurposing of like background objects and
how they can take shortcuts, like show you the back of somebody while they're talking, so they don't have to animate the mouth movements, and then of course they would show it like they would be doing it. Yeah, they did. It was so meta. It was such a great episode. I loved that part. I laughed out loud when I saw that.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
That's funny because I was just thinking that when we were talking about this. So my thought would be, you know, there's plenty of talent to go around. Like it's not a matter of talent. It's a matter of, I think when we talk about the quality of the comic books, is that you overwork the best artists and the best writers to the point where they can't be the best writers and the best artists. Yeah. You know, and they're trying to do it on a budget, so they're not compensating their best people. And so they would rather just, if they figure, well, there's not much difference between whether we pay this guy $300 a page in sales, not much of a difference, and we pay this guy $100 a page to draw. We're getting the same sales either way, so we'll pay the $100. Okay, fine, but you're basically guaranteeing that you're not going to hit on anything. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if 2025 taught us anything, it's that lightning in a bottle exists. Mm-hmm. You get the right team together and a cool concept, and it hits, it makes your whole year. It's going to make 2 or 3 years for DC. Yeah. So you have to spend money to make money. You got to pay your talent and give them the opportunity to create something excellent. Does it guarantee it's going to turn into sales? No, but not doing that all but guarantees you won't. Yeah. You're going to have a 2025 that Marvel had. Yeah. Where nothing's inspired. I didn't you feel it? Like I would go into the LCS and I would kind of go over the way our LCS is configured is you have DC, you have at the front of the store is a whole wall of indie, then there's a wall of DC, and then in the back is a wall of Marvel. It's an interesting way to configure a store. And it's funny because I would cross over into the Marvel section and I was immediately just looking at covers because I wasn't into any of the stories. Yeah. And it's kind of a bummer because Marvel's, you know, what kind of came up reading.
Yeah. I just read Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah. That's it. I mean, Chichetto and Hickman, and then Chichetto and Zdarsky did Batman. Like, if you put Chichetto on anything, I'll give it a shot.
That's
Like,
cool.
To answer your question, Chichetto is a guy. If he's on the interiors, I don't care. Like, I'll read it because his interiors incredible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other artists like that. Jorge Jimenez, his Batman is fantastic. Like, I think he draws a great Batman. I would keep that book on my pull list, but I'm just like not. I don't want to spend. Maybe when Ultimate Spider-Man's done, maybe I'll pivot that money into Batman.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Nick Dragotta stuff for Absolute Batman, I think it's fine. Like, I'm not like
Right.
Enamored by it. I think it looks good. I don't think it's bad by any means, but yeah, it's not anything that like is keeping me like engaged, like the way Chichetto keeps me engaged.
I mean, it's got to have a wow factor of something in it. You know what I mean? I want to feel like I did when I was a kid. I want to open the comic book. I want to look at the splash page and go, whoa. You know, I want to be reading the story, engrossed in it, and then I turn a page and there's just some bombastic panel, like it's a full panel or it's a double truck across both, and you're just like, wow, or just a cool configuration of panels, and you just go, man, that's amazing. Yeah. I want that, and I will pay the money to have that experience. But when you're at a comic shop and you pull up a book and you look inside and it looks pedestrian. That's the best way I'm going to put it.
That's a good word.
And I'm not an artist, like I said, so I'm not knocking anybody who puts their effort in to make a comic book, okay? But when you're charging $5-6 a book, I want to see something special. I want to see some effort.
Yeah, that's why I pulled Daredevil out of my from my run, because I just couldn't look at John Romita Jr.'s art anymore. I was just like, this is making the story bad for me. I was like, I don't know if the story is actually bad, but I'm not having a good time reading this. I don't want to look at it. And even they had some issues where they had like a guest artist for like one of the annuals.
Yeah.
And they just had Kingpin looking like a big fat baby. And it was weird. And I was like, what? And me and the guy that works at the LCS, we were looking at the page together and we were like, it's
hideous.
He's not like intimidating. Like, this Kingpin has no aura. Like, none at all.
Yeah, but Kingpin is all aura.
Yeah.
That's what he is. He should fill the panel.
And like Chichetto's Kingpin, if you've seen from his Daredevil run or his Ultimate Spider-Man run, he draws like he does like this shading with the pencils under Kingpin's eye where it like looks like he's tired, but it also just gives him like this evil, like evil never sleeps type of thing. And it's like, you know, being able to,
it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's also like being able to like look at that art and have that type of interpretation. Like, like, oh, evil doesn't sleep type thing. Like you need art that like speaks beyond more than just like it's 2D actualization in front of you. Like, for there to actually be interpretation and depth. And you can tell when art, whether it's drawing art or writing art, when something's just put, I mean, AI, like writing, you can tell it's just words that are put together compared to like when there's actual human effort and depth behind it. And I got to say this just as a one-off quote. The amount of people in the comic book hobby who are using AI to do their graphics boggles my mind.
That's horrible.
Like, we are in a hobby that is full of creatives. Yeah. And there are people who might not be in the industry professionally, but who are just around, who do graphics and do art, and they would probably love to do like graphics for you. Like, I pay people to do my graphics, or I do my own graphics. Like these guys, these were drawn, but they both were drawn by my wife, your daughter, and she put the effort into it. The Comic Room Pod logo was designed by a friend of mine who does graphic design. Like, these people, they want work. Like, give them work, pay them for their art.
Yeah, and you'll have something original and unique.
Yeah, exactly. Not this AI slop that I'm just seeing so much on Instagram from just, and it's just like, what, like, we're in such a creative hobby of writing and art.
Right.
And Jim Lee had the quote from in 2025 of like, DC is never going to
Brilliant.
engage. I don't remember his exact words, but it was essentially.
But he got like a standing ovation for it. Like people were wanting to hear that from him.
Yeah, and it's like we're cutting costs on our marketing because you can run graphics through out of Grok or out of ChatGPT. Like, pay somebody, pay a college student. Like,
give him a couple $100. Come on, you know.
I just man, I see it grow every week. I see more and more AI generated slob out there.
Yeah,
like AI as like a tool for like
research
for sourcing. That's the way that I use AI.
Yeah,
but for generating.
No, it's great for mundane things, but it shouldn't be for creative generation. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that only from a moral standpoint, although I am saying it from a moral standpoint, but I'm also saying it from the standpoint of what's actually is good and quality. And I know they say, well, like it keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. Look, I teach writing for a living. I flagged a student just this morning for an AI generated piece of writing. Now, it wasn't a creative writing student. It was a business writing student, and it was ironically it was an executive summary, and the first clue was it wasn't formatted the way an executive summary should be formatted. I'm teaching them how to do executive summaries. I want to see headings, bullet points. I want an abstract. I want it to be my eyes should tell me right away that this is going to be a quick read. This thing was chunky paragraphs, and each paragraph was full of 3 pointed lists, one after another.
Yeah.
And there's I'm just telling you, in case you're wondering, and I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, it's not hard to spot.
Yeah, you can tell.
I can tell. I'm like, this is AI.
Yeah, I saw a post today, or not today, this last week, because Sal Buscema had passed.
Yeah. Oh, we should say something about that. Yeah.
Which we haven't talked about yet, but yeah, he passed this week, and a seller made a post about it, and I'm reading the post, and I'm like, a human didn't write this.
Yeah.
And it's all about, it's talking about like, you know, what Sal contributed to the industry, like his stature and just like all of his accomplishments. And I'm reading this and I'm like, this is not written by a human.
No.
Like there's the way, just like, it's always something that you can tell. So it's the first time I ever used a AI checker.
Yeah.
And it said 100% written by AI. And I was like, how reliable are these things? I was like, I don't actually know. So then in the AI checker, I just wrote poopity scoop. And then I said, check to see if this is AI. And it said 0%.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. No, seriously. I saw something on Instagram. It was a brand new presence on Instagram. And this presence, the picture was of a female, and it was a very long post introducing herself to the space and presenting her personal story as to why she's going to be posting these things and follow her for her journey. And she even had a link to her girlfriend, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm reading it and I'm like, this is AI. This is 100% AI. This is a fake individual.
Yeah.
And they're trying to drum up followers by presenting themselves as human. And
wow.
And I ran it through several different AI checkers, and it all came back AI generated, but I already knew it was, like, just from reading it. And I thought, this is insidious. Like this is legit lying. Like you're trying to get us to follow a personality, and you're giving us personal anecdotes from your life to make us relate to you. And you're not real.
Yeah. And
you're going to generate money and money out of that content, suckering people.
Yeah.
And it made me think about how much of this stuff that I maybe follow isn't even real. Like it's just, and that's the world we're living in now. But man, I don't want to see it in the creative spaces.
Yeah. This is the final thing I'll say is like, look, if you make your graphics or whatever it may be AI because it saves you money, just like remember that like there's artists out there who are trying to make it.
Yeah.
And sometimes like when they design something for you, like you're adding to their portfolio. and you're adding to what they're going to take to bigger companies to be like, hey, this is my art. Like I designed this for a comic business. I designed this for a so-and-so. Like, and so this is where this is being used in professional spaces. But when you take that away from them, you're taking away their resume, and they don't have anything to show for like what their art is being used in the commercial space.
Right.
And so they're not getting a job. And then, they pivot. They have to pivot into other types of work to support themselves while they can hopefully try to get the art kicked off. So it's like, you're not saving yourself a few bucks. You're like costing the future of art and creativity by not supporting these artists. And so
it's so true. That's a great point.
And you can find artists at totally different budgets. Like,
sure you can. Absolutely. You student workers, student writers, or just recent graduates trying to build their portfolios. Absolutely, you can on Fiverr or any of these places. They're inexpensive. Like they'll Media Bistro. Like you can find them. The irony of a student in a business writing class turning in the first writing assignment to me, AI, is basically thumbing his nose at, not me personally, but at the idea that he even needs to learn how to write well. Because what he's basically saying is, AI can write better than I'll ever learn how to write, and it can do it for me faster. So there's no point for me to even take this course. And business majors are unique because they tend to be very pragmatic. They're very practical. And they're taught to think that way. Mm-hmm. So this is a really good experience for them to take a class from a creative professional like me, who can maybe tell them there's something more than efficiency that will give you results. Mm-hmm. And results is the ultimate efficiency if you're a business person. That your letter actually pulls, that you get clients, that your customers are happy with whatever it is you're using your writing for. You think they don't know, and maybe they don't know, but I'm just telling you, they're not going to be moved by it.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm done. I'm getting off my soapbox now, but that is,
it's been discouraging to see.
It is discouraging, but also encouraging, because it's in the sense that the human created art definitely stands out.
Yeah. So I think we went on that tangent because I said that you can tell when somebody's not writing with heart, or drawing with heart, and then that pivoted into AI. I'm not saying that their work is like AI, because it's still like original. But if I draw something, you can tell there's no heart in it because I'm not good.
Yeah,
at art.
Same here. Me
so
too.
So sometimes it's like you can see that in some of these. I mean, just very transparently, like that's how I felt with John Romita Jr. on Daredevil. Like it just didn't. What made John Romita Jr. special when he was doing Daredevil, like post the Miller run, like when they were trying to figure out Daredevil after Miller had left, like, and just the iconic covers that he did with like Punisher and just some of those iconic Daredevil covers from like the 200s run. I just don't see it. Maybe it's because he got overworked like crazy in the 90s.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
But there's a lot of artists out there. I mean, Chichetto, Dragotta, even though it's not my personal cup of tea, I can still appreciate it for like seeing that there's a lot of work put into that.
Yep.
And like you said, when you combine the right artist and writer, Snyder and Dragotta, Zdarsky and Chichetto, Hickman and Chichetto, in my opinion, I think people might argue on that one, but Miller and Jansen,
Claremont and
Byrne, Neil Adams and
Denny
O'Neil. Like when you find the right pair,
Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, man.
Yeah, Stan Lee and Kirby,
Ditko and Lee.
Ditko and Lee. Yeah, when you find the right pair,
you're putting art out into the world. You're putting out into the world something that has the potential to become classic, iconic, culture changing. Like you're putting something, it should be taken seriously isn't even the right word. It should be approached reverently. That's the right word.
It's like, it's not a direct one-to-one comparison, but if you guys have seen Ted Lasso, when Ted when Jamie Tart is still just like not when he doesn't understand selflessness and he's still just like, I'm the best.
Yeah, give me the ball.
Give me the ball type thing. and when Ted Lasso tells him like, and he uses like a tuning, at least in his physical acting, but he goes, once you can find how to turn that I to a we, and then Ted just goes, he said, man, the sky's the limit for you.
Oh man, I need to watch that show again.
And I think that like, man, when you find when these publishers, when they find the right couple, the duo to put together, Absolute Batman's proof.
Yeah.
The sky is the limit.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about, genies in bottles. We're rubbing them and something magical comes out, if you get the right thing. And if you want to be pragmatic about it, there's a lot of money to be made if you hit.
Yeah.
So for the pragmatic people, and I know, get it, it's a business. The rewards are financial.
Yeah.
Not just artistic.
So, I mean, if Zdarsky has a 2-year exclusivity with Marvel and he's going to be turning things around and Hickman is consulting, I mean, I have full confidence that whatever they're going to brainstorm together is going to be fine.
And, from a speculative standpoint, be on the lookout.
And I think in the long term, because I think we've talked about this, where it's like, why would you end the Ultimate Universe? Like Ultimate Spider-Man was so good and you have like these Ultimate spinoffs. I think in the long term, what Marvel is doing is the better decision. Because I think with what they're going to do, what Zdarsky is essentially saying is, from what I had read, feels like an hour ago now, you reinvest into your main title, main universe characters. Like, it's great that this 34-year-old Peter Parker story is selling, but we want Amazing Spider-Man to sell.
Right.
Like, because at some point, it's going to end.
Yeah, you're right.
The side spinoff, the what if world is going to end. But yeah, the flagship, like if you have Amazing Spider-Man just killing it, nothing is going to, Absolute Batman isn't going to hold a light to it.
That's true.
Like, because it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And if you just turn those main titles and you just have, if they're going crazy and they're so good, you've won.
Yeah.
You've won, because it's not.
It's true. It's a great point.
Because then how you're thinking like, wow, this what if Bruce Wayne story, Absolute Batman, which is very intriguing and unique. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, it's not Earth 1 Batman.
Right.
Like, so.
Yeah. The phenomenon that is the original characters and what happens when they pop is unmatched.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm optimistic. That's good. The fact that because people were saying, oh, the comics are really in a slump and nobody's really coming out with anything original. 2025 was a good year.
Yeah.
It was a good year for DC specifically, but it was a good year for Marvel too, the Ultimate stuff. So, I think everybody got reminded, good stuff sells.
No.
And it doesn't just sell once. It circles back around trade paperbacks, which sell. It shows up in animated shows 5 years down the road. It shows up in long form TV shows another 5 years down the road. And then 10, 20 years later, someone makes a movie about it. Like it's a property that keeps on giving and earning.
Yeah.
So yes, and it originates with the artists with heart and the writers with heart who are given the opportunity to do what they do best.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the future.
Yeah,
I really
me
am.
too. Yeah, me too. All right. Well, we didn't get to talk about Wonder Man. So maybe next week.
And I actually binged the whole thing this week. I watched it. I watched 3 one night, 3 the next night, and then the last 2 on one night because my wife and I both got into it.
Yeah, it was good.
It was excellent.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll just say that if you haven't watched it, if you're wondering, do give it a watch. You're gonna love it. It's really fun.
Yeah. When I was looking up the top 20 list, my dad had texted me, and like as I was looking up the list, and he said, I did not expect that Wonder Man ending. So even my dad's watching it.
Is he? Good.
Yeah.
And if he's talking about the ending, means he got to the end.
Yeah. So, and he sent that text while we were recording. So
that's awesome.
We'll talk about it next week. We'll do full spoilers and everything.
Yeah, next week. We'll give you another week.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we loved it. There's a lot of sentimentality for us because
Sure.
What I love, well, I'll say this: what I loved about it was filmed on location in LA,
Yes.
and so just like, I mean, we recognize everything. Like
Tons.
there was one thing in particular that Dara was like, Dara said this. Because there was like one episode in particular where we were just like, man, like I love seeing like my hometown, like,
Yeah.
like just on screen in like the Marvel universe. But there was a scene where they were walking down the street, and then behind them was the tree, the roots of the tree that had gone onto the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and like have broken up the sidewalk, and it's like this big lump. And Dara's like, that's only the type of thing that you see in LA, like, because it just never gets fixed and it just stays like that. She's like, so only somebody from LA can really appreciate, because when we lived in LA proper, I mean, that was like the sidewalk for every 6 squares was like that.
It's so true.
Like, it's just the roots blowing up the sidewalk. And so it's like, man, there was stuff like that. That's like, I mean, I'm sure
authentic, man.
Yeah, it's like I'm sure. I mean, trees and roots are powerful, and I'm sure it happens in other cities.
Yeah.
But like in LA, it's like when you're walking, you're never on the same level as the person you're walking next to on the sidewalk.
No, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I'll say the other thing I'll say about it is that what I liked most about it, what really so pleasantly surprised me, was that it's really a buddy story.
Yeah,
You know, and I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I just didn't. But it's a story about 2 friends and 2 unlikely friends and an unlikely friendship, and it's consistent all the way through.
some twists and turns. Yeah,
Yeah, and I turned to Deb and I said, I love this. I love the subgenre of the buddy story.
Yeah.
And we don't, and you know, I think we as content consumers, I think we're starting to flex our preferences for long form storytelling. The 8 episode versus a movie, because a movie can't really do that.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, watch it.
Yeah.
Just trust me, you'll like it.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week
Trust us
for it. Yeah. We appreciate you guys watching. You can follow us on Instagram. I'm at Spros_comics. He's at Mr. Peter Longbox. If you've made it this far, thank you. You can subscribe to the channel, give this a like so that YouTube can push it onto other algorithms where they think those viewers might like it as well. But I'm hosting a claim sale on Tuesday for my buddy Katsu Comics, and we're gonna have a nice big special announcement on Tuesday. I wish I would have said that at the beginning of the episode, but here we are at the end. So
do some editing.
Whoever has made it. There you go. So yeah, announcement coming Tuesday, and then I'm gonna be doing a claim sale Friday next week, maybe, or a Saturday, and it's gonna be something special, as in like it's either gonna be a 20% off everything or free shipping, one of the two. So
Nice.
come on by. So that'll be probably Friday.
Wow.
So
Big sale.
yeah. So all right, thank you guys so much for
Yeah,
watching.
for sure.
We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you next week.
See you later.
Peace.